Today, I'll be making this gorgeous Leo resin charm. I'm using this silicone mold, which has a really lovely curvy outline, to cast the fifth zodiac sign with Leo colors and some UV and epoxy resin. Let's use UV gel to create the mane, paws and tail before casting the body. First, I'll add some orange to highlight the paws. Let's remove any air pockets from the edges. This UV gel I'm using, the bottles are putting up a bit of a fight. I probably need to work out my fingers and build up some grip strength or something. Strong like a lion. Next, let's add some punch to the mane. This inlay technique with the UV gel allows us to create micro patterns inside a larger mold, such as this one. If I had just filled the body with a resin pigment mix, then it would have just been the silhouette of the lion. But by using this gel, I am able to give a little more depth to the design. You can also achieve this technique with simple UV resin and a micro brush to ensure thin strokes. Now, let's use some gold to add a little flair to the mane. The mane is cured, the paws are ready. Let's cure the piece from the other side too. Time to begin pouring the resin for the body. I have already marked out the volume I need for this 1:1 resin mix. This was one of the first resins I bought and it's over a year old now. The hardener has slightly yellowed, but the resin itself is fine. I was unable to use it in my more recent projects, but because this project has a predominantly warm color palette, I'm going to finally use it up, as I can't use it for blooms or other pieces where I need crystal clear resin. I am adding the yellow pigment now to provide a strong contrast to the orange and gold. This is going to be a dirty pour mix, allowing the pigments and the resin to interact organically. I am always pleasantly surprised by the final visual texture, because the exact circumstances of pigment quantity, setting time and mold shape are never repeated. Every single result is unique. The color is really rich and completely befitting the whole Leo vibe. Since so many of my closest friends and family are from this fire sign, I am practically the proverbial cat lady of my circle. It was essential to get the colors right. The vibrant mix of yellow, gold and orange reflects the warmth, energy and the radiant confidence of a true Leo. These are the fiery colors of the sun, Leo's ruling celestial body. Let's use my trusty toothpick and work the edge to dislodge any bubbles that might be hiding. The tail area is especially tricky. My resin has cured and it is looking fabulous. The sides look fine as well, so let's pop this out. I really hope the edge is clean. Nice. There seems to be a few bubbles trapped along the UV gel boundary, but the rest of the body is thankfully bubble-free. The other side has a little lip. I'll need to sand this down because otherwise the charm will get too bulky, and that's not a value addition. The sinking action of the pigment in the mix has created this nebulous spotty visual texture in the body, which is totally unexpected and looking gorgeous, I must say. I'm really glad the edge came out clean. The toothpick run paid off. Let's wet the sandpaper a little to minimize resin dust. I'm going to sand it down until the lip is worn level with the body. While I clean this up for the second part, a quick recap overview. I took a mold, made the mane and paws with colored UV gel, then mixed a 2-part resin and pigment to create the body. After sanding down the lip, now I will add a Leo sticker and seal it with UV resin. The final assembly will involve a jump ring and a lobster clasp. For the lion sticker, instead of the text, I will go for the Leo symbol, which is a simplified drawing of a lion, specifically representing the head and its flowing mane, or perhaps its tail. Since the body is irregular, it took me a moment to find the visual center for the sticker. Now I will seal this in place with a UV dome. Let's get a little shadow here from the light coming in through the window. I don't want the resin to start curing before I'm done covering the surface and edges properly with my silicone stick. The legs are especially tricky since the boundary is so curvy. Dealing with the edge is difficult because I can easily push the resin over the side. The coverage seems complete. Today I'm going to just let this stay in the sunlight. My tiny UV lamp isn't really working. I'll come back in about 30 minutes. Cool, this is cured properly, so let's dome the other side. I seem to be running out of resin in the middle of my work. First the lamp, now the resin. Luckily, I think there is just enough to complete the project. In my last Zodiac charm project, I spilled the resin many times. This time, I'm determined to be patient and careful. I have no intention of redoing it. Since the charm is too large for my UV resin container, dip doming is out. Using epoxy would require me to babysit the piece for hours, checking every 15 minutes to prevent spills across its extensive undulating edge. Therefore, UV resin is the only practical solution for now. The trick for a piece like this is mastering the edge and controlling how the resin is pushed to the border. Done incorrectly, the resin will either overflow via capillary action or worse, cure with an undesirable lip visible under light. This is it. Let's leave it to cure. My charm has cured. Let's quickly assemble it. Look at the flowing, gorgeous mane. The Leo symbol tells you that this is a zodiac charm, ready to be hung on your favorite rucksack. I'm loving the play of pigment in the body. The charm itself is translucent and looks great from both sides. I hope you enjoyed the making of this resin Leo zodiac charm. Happy crafting and have a wonderful day.